Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to TravTalk's Digital Conclave focused on luxury traveler and the journey to reassure them to travel again. COVID has actually pushed us to rediscover and redefine what luxury is today. What is it? What is the way forward? For that, we have today esteemed panelists of real good people who are really experts in their own field. Before I introduce my panel, I would like you to make two housekeeping announcements. First of all, everybody who's listening in, please ask your questions in chat functionality and mention who the question is addressed to and where you're from. In case your screen freezes, please use the refresh button and come on again. So we start now, and I would like to say, I'd like to introduce to you our panelists today. First, I would like to introduce to you Mamoon Midan, the Managing Director, Middle East, North Africa, and India of Vigo. Drawing on more than a decade of experience, he passionately drives revenue and marketing growth in this region. Mamoon, vast experience along with the strong leadership skills and significant multinational experience brings in new dynamics to the organization. His background with sales operations, retail, e-commerce, deep understanding of the importance of the partners has helped Vigo become the largest travel marketplace in MENA. Welcome, Mamoon. It's a pleasure to have you over here.
Thank you. My pleasure. Thanks.
Moving on, I would like to introduce Nuria Pizarro. She is the Global Brand and Marketing Director of Palladium Hotel Group. An experienced B2B marketer, Nuria has worked across multiple sales and marketing disciplines in the luxury hotels. A seasoned professional with 20 years of hospitality experience, she has built and executed global campaigns for multiple hotel brands. In her current role, she is responsible for the brand marketing at Palladium Hotel Group, a Spanish hotel chain with 48 hotels in 6 countries and 10 hotel brands. Nuria, welcome. Pleasure to have you with us today. Moving on, I'd like to introduce to you Suresh Desanekan. He is the Assistant Vice President, Sales and Marketing. Now, how do you pronounce your hotel? Would you be nice enough to do it yourself, Suresh? I don't want to.
It's Heritage Zara and Adaran Resorts.
At resorts in the Maldives. Look, that's why I just wanted to be right on his name. With the career spanning 18 years, Suresh has traveled to more than 50 countries, promoting hospitality, sales, and marketing, and bringing with him a vast experience of cultural understanding. He is currently pursuing PhD in tourism while working in the hotel group. That's a lot, studying as well and PhD, wow. His hard work and determination makes him the youngest employee ever to hold such a senior position. Suresh is a member of the Sri Lankan Institute of Marketing and the Institute of Certified Management Accountants, Australia. Suresh, welcome. Pleasure to have you with us today.
Thank you, Sanjay. It's a pleasure to have you.
Friends, before I ask them to say a few things, I would like to give you a little feedback on what the basic luxury market is. As the lockdown and travel restrictions have started to be relaxed in the GCC, domestic travel has been steadily growing. Interestingly, the international traveler has also shown interest and confidence in booking hotels again. The travel agent has started getting inquiries for holidays in 2020, not 21 at the moment. Marketing Middle East is facing a well in global travel confidence all over the world. Early trends show that the luxury tourism appears to be more resilient against the pandemic than tourism in general. Now, this is something which I like to share. The value of the global luxury tourism industry during this time is supposed to be US dollars 545 billion in the year 2020. It will be. That's the statistics by a German company. Has COVID given the industry an opportunity to remarry travel and luxury? We will find out more today from our experts. The best way to do would be, I would like to go to Mamoon. I would like you to give your opening remarks. And since you're dealing, so you can share with us what does the situation look like in the Middle East. Mamoon, over to you.
Thanks, Tanjeet. So basically, yeah, as mentioned, as you said, so things are coming back. In some areas faster than what we thought, in some areas a bit slower than what we originally thought that's going to be. It's a challenging year. It's a very different year to us. Playing, in the digital space, in travel and tourism in this part of the world has put us always on kind of a double-digit growth year on year. Big ambitious plans, extra. It's all got, unfortunately, stopped this year. We've been pushed back dramatically, as we all know. I think the whole industry suffered. The good thing now that we are seeing a good comeback, especially in the countries which opened up earlier than the rest of the world. So talking about UAE, Dubai specifically, to an extent, Saudi domestic flights. Demand is back, bookings are back. We're seeing some areas in some period of time during UAE, when you talk about the staycation level, hotels got up to 100% occupancy rate in many places. Ras Al Khaimah reported it a couple of weeks ago that during the Eid al-Adha holiday they had 100% occupancy rate in their properties. Dubai is hitting around 60+% now. It's increasing. So staycation became a market this year, especially in this period of time where usually people are out, people are traveling abroad. Saudi domestic, since it started, the operation started again with the flights in Saudi back in June. It went slowly but steadily. Now we're seeing around 70% of the total availability that used to be there in the market is there. So 70% capacity available in terms of domestic flights, and in terms of bookings, we're seeing around 60% recovery of what we used to see last year. So 60% year on year is back, which is promising. Lots and lots of talks about Saudi international market opening and having international flights coming soon. I think sometime in September, and I'm sure once we see that happening, we're gonna see a quick 20-30% recovery, and it's gonna keep on increasing till the end of the year. Egypt is a very interesting market to look at right now. Egypt is one of the first countries that started opening borders, welcoming people in, waived all quarantines. That helped a lot. Staycation and domestic travel is also at scale in Egypt. I think it's at growth to an extent if you compare it year on year, again the same period of time. And we've got around 50+% of year on year recovery on the inbound travel to Egypt. So that's on a very quick overview. Kuwait is still too soon. They just started now. They just waived the lockdown recently and they opened up recently. So we need a little bit of time to analyze and see. But from what we're seeing, it's still early baby steps. It's around 10 to 15% of the capacity and of the booking ratio from last year in Kuwait.
Before I go ahead, Mamu, I just want to ask you one question. These figures you're talking about is till the end of the year. This is what you're expecting now.
This is what we're seeing now. What we're expecting, yeah, I think if hopefully and only if there is no wave 2, and I hope there is no wave 2, these are going to keep on increasing, and I think we'll close the year overall as a region in terms of performance at the ratio of 50 to 60% of 2019 numbers. Talking bookings and capacity, if you take the total capacity versus bookings and you measure it together, yeah, it's going to be above 50%, which is good in a year like this.
Agreed. Very, very good. Okay, I'm going to move on now. For your opening remarks, Nuri, I'm going to come to you. Your opening remarks, whatever, over to you.
Well, the comes from Europe, greetings from Spain. Okay, this is the first. I can say that in Europe, the situation, the uncertain situation, has to rethink all the way to travel and then the way to approach to the market. Okay, because I think we are all the countries on the same loop, even in the different continents or the different countries. We are in the first instance, because this is something with the knowledge about how it's going to be the situation and the future. We think to focus all the time that was the first immediate tourist focus. It was in the domestic market. Okay, that it was on the first line. And then also into the Europe, all the countries surrounding there, like United Kingdom, France, Italy, Germany, and we have three countries up until the moment that the situation for the economy around the pandemic grow up. Okay, but that's why our focus was to prepare all the hotels and the procedures to give safety and very free way to vacation to the pre-worry vacation to the guests to be more free, with the freedom into the different countries and different destinations into the Europe, and giving all the facilities in case of the pandemic or the situation is worse. You know? In these terms, we at the first instance we were focused to the domestic market, and to Spain. Okay, you know that the Spain is a very tourist inland places, and also the facilities of booking, because it's one of the most important aspects when the booking hotels by offering to the customer that they can we give him free give the greater confidence and that who are worried when booking our accommodation due to the insecurities or possible installation situations or closing border, they can feel safe if they can cancel the booking anytime. Another thing is to prepare the hospitality. Okay, that's one of the first points for us as well in the hotels. We have in total 48 hotels, 6 destinations. Almost all of them are in Spain, Italy, and Caribbean, Mexico, Republic of Dominica, Jamaica, and Brazil. Planet Hotel Group has insurance care with free of charge of 24/7 medical care for all the guests staying in our hotels. Okay, this is giving a very confident and trusted users to the hotel guests to be safe during all their stays. Okay, with a very strong cover.
Right. Thank you very much, Nuria. I'm going to move on to now Suresh. Suresh, your opening remarks, and then I'll come with the questions to you. Over to you, Suresh.
Thank you, Sanjit. Hello, everyone from sunny side of life, Maldives. We are a nation heavily dependent on tourism. Directly or indirectly, 80% of the country is depending on tourism. So when lockdown happens with COVID in March, it gives us the opportunity to stop for a while, rethink, and re-strategize. From month of April, Maldives tourism as well as the resorts in Maldives have been very actively marketing the destination digitally to the consumers, as well as we have been conducting a lot of webinars to the trade to keep Maldives in top of their mind. This has helped us to open the destination, being one of the first in the South Asia as well as this part of the world. We opened the borders 15th of July. So far, we have catered for around 8,000 guests arrived to the destination. And we started with a campaign called The Sun Will Shine Again, which worked really well for the destination. The resort, around 60 resorts are in operation now. We are hoping another 40 resorts to open next month. As a destination, it's slowly picking up, and Maldives generally a luxury destination. We are hoping that by towards the end of the year, we will recover at least 40 to 50%. We are getting good bookings for next summer, especially. Some of the markets are very resilient. Even the Middle Eastern market, where we had a lot of tourists coming into the destination, especially during the Islamic New Year and the Eid period. So we are hopeful, and I'm sure we'll bounce back soon.
Okay, I'll look. That's the good positive part of it to look at it. Anyway, let's go forward with some question answers. That's something which we need to do, and I will start with Mahmood. I'm going to come to you first. I know you gave us an overview of what's happening in the region as such, but what I want to ask you is, are you seeing any behavioral changes in bookings in terms of tourists? What are the initial steps you think you need to really take? Because at the moment, what's happening is fear is the biggest thing with every traveler. So how are you going to get rid of the fear? What are you doing to inculcate the confidence in them? And do you see any changes in the bookings and the way they're talking about? Mahmood.
All right. So yeah, many questions in one, but in general, yeah, there are some noticeable changes. So we're not seeing group and families travel back yet from the region. What we see in general, we see lots of solos, lots of young travelers versus the usual mix that you see from the GCC countries. Usually, like big families, big groups traveling together. That's not yet on demand, if we want to say. Yeah, it's more solos. Lots and lots of repatriation flights happened, and we should face it. There was many flights to India, to Egypt, to many other countries. Lots of one-way tickets for so many reasons. Which is another opportunity. I mean, if you take it from another side of things with all the stuff, but we'll keep that aside. In general, we're not seeing that sort of long trips anymore. So there is no more, the likes of 14 days, 20 days sort of trips planned from here. We're seeing more shorter ones, more staycations, 2-3 days, all of that. In terms of average spend, on the hotels specifically, at some point of time, prices dropped dramatically. So the average booking value went like from $500 per night to like $300. But that recovered quite quickly, especially in the regional and domestic hotels. So that went back. On the flight side of things, prices are pretty much the same level. So and some routes are lower. So that's in an overview the current behavior. Now the main challenge, and where do we actually try to play ball and figure out our role exactly, is basically information side of things, right? So today, the big confusion that any traveler is facing is what do they need to do in order to do that trip? Whether it's business, personal, medical. Good example of that yesterday, the visa processing center in the region here, the big VFS one, just announced that Schengen visas are back. We started talking to our tourism board partners with many European countries. Does that mean UAE is in the list of EU for no quarantine hotels? And the answer we got was no. It's basically a specific type of visas. So information is vague, right? So it's mainly for medical so that's an area we're trying to develop at the moment. That's an area we're trying to tap into. We're putting lots of content. We're gathering all the kind of information, making it easy, accessible throughout our platforms for our users, so that they can basically put their O&D and figure out what they need to do. Until that happens, I think that's going to be a big constraint towards restoring the travel and leisure and luxury tourism to a scale, especially for families. That's the main challenge we see now. Business travel is down, obviously, which is like 30+% of the total business from the region, especially the intra GCC travel. This is down now, but we're expecting it to be the fastest to recover once the intra travel happens. It's proven in many areas around the world, yet not in this part of the world, is that travel corridors are working. So those countries who managed to put travel corridors or agreements or protocols between each other ended up actually having that sort of waves of recovery faster than the others. We are expecting that to happen. We expected it to happen a bit sooner than now, but hopefully within the coming 2 months, we're going to see UAE, Saudi, UAE, Bahrain, Saudi, Bahrain, Kuwait kind of opening up again, and that's gonna gives a give a big opportunity to travelers across at least within the region to come back at scale.
Many answers in one, like you said, many questions in one. But I want to come back to you because there are a lot of things which I need to touch with you on pricing and all that again, but I'll come to you a little later. I'm moving on to Nuria. Nuria, now I just want to ask you, you're seeing the way the situation is at the moment. We have to restart tourism. And I think the way is going to be revenge tourism because people will travel a lot. So when you restart tourism, what are the changes in your strategy and your offering as a hotel? What are you going to look at? What are your short-term goals? Let's not talk about the long one, but immediately, what are you planning to do? And what are going to be the strategy and what are your offerings?
Well, as I said before, one of the things is how is the consumer perception about how you market to the new normal situation. Okay, that's why we prepare all the house internally. Okay, the hotels in terms of safe and healthy with the protocols, with insurance, also the assessment for all the staff to be trained and be as well informing how to deal with critical situations. No? And but a part of this is from the marketing or goal or commitment is to how to market this to them to their customer. Okay. How to give the information, the message, for example, to the GCC customers to come to Europe. That is very difficult. It's a very a challenge. But in time, because now there's an uncertain situation about how it's going to be happening in 15 days, no? With the pandemic. And the first instance, I think, is to offer a message about how to meet the level of personalization of the guest demands. Okay, the digital transformation about how we are going to prepare and personalize the stay in advance will be an advantage to us how to prepare all the services in the hotel. Okay, a part of this is to give all the full information how is the situation in the destination as well, because the news were going to the GCC from Spain and Europe, maybe it's unfortunate, no? But here and I'm based in Ibiza, I can tell you that we have a very good month of pickup of our tourists, but domestic. Okay, we don't have foreign abroad, but the people need to travel. And then we have to give the message that it's safe to travel in the particular destination that is prepared for this new normal situation. Okay, that I think is the main point. A part of this is about to be flexibility in bookings all the time, because as my colleague said, is that the families is not traveling. And also the couples and tours and group of friends, they are more challenged on traveling. But we have to be confident with the families as well to recover this, given all the chance and all the opportunity to be flexible in the bookings. If you're a booker, you can book at least 24 hours prior their arrival without any penalty. Okay, this is very very good and comprehensive guide for the hotels and for the customers. Apart from this, I think is I hope in 3 or 4 months at the end of this year, all the international borders with all the countries will be prepared to have a movement between. Okay, because this moment we have the movement into the Europe. But for us, the GCC, India, Asia, and the North America is a very important market for us. And we are trying to give us a message, a message of how is the situation in the Europe, or how we are preparing to host the customer with all the plenty size and healthy procedures. Okay.
All right, fair enough. Thank you so much. I'm going to move on now. Suresh, I'm going to coming to you, and I'm going to stick to the luxury traveler for the time being at the moment. And what I really need to ask you is that the erstwhile luxury traveler has he started evolving? Because you're getting the tourists over there, you're looking at, because you're dependent upon them. So my question to you is, has he started evolving? Have their requirements changed? Have their spending habits changed? Or are they like, instead of the rooms, they're asking you for villas or exclusivity and all that? So what's happening with the luxury traveler? Let's hear from you.
Okay. For me, Sanjit, luxury traveler is someone who is looking to slow down, who is looking at simplicity, less distraction, and purity. So today's luxury traveler traveling to Maldives, especially in the family segment, looking at digital detoxification for their kids, because during the pandemic period, kids have been addicted to screens. So parents need to find a way of getting rid of them. So most of the travelers coming to Maldives are coming for long stay holidays. So they are looking at kids club for kids with a lot of activities where they get involved and be away from the screens. So the resorts in Maldives are focusing on this. When it's come to luxury travel booking patterns, we have noticed that most of the clients are booking for long stay, except for markets like Middle Eastern clients. Even Middle Eastern clients, they have been booking 3 nights earlier to Maldives because it's just a weekend getaway with 4-hour flight. But now we see a trend that they try to book little longer stays, like 4 nights, 5 nights, 6 nights. Because all travelers are facing difficulties while traveling to a destination. There are a lot of new procedures, protocols in all the airports and in different countries. So we tend to see a longer stay of a luxury traveler. So Maldives, at the time we decided to open the destination, as a destination, the Maldives tourism gave us a clear guideline how the hotel should run. So all the hotels are following the HPA guidelines. For a luxury traveler, we all make sure that it's a safe holiday. But on the other side, the convenience factor is more important. Now, most of the airlines have asked for the COVID test certificate. Maldives is one of the few destinations where a guest doesn't have to go to a medical center. The doctor will come to the villa and do your collect the samples, and you will get the report to your email. So that's a convenience Maldives give for a luxury traveler. It's a hassle-free holiday. So when it's come to their spending patterns, it's all depends, Sanjit, how we convince them to spend for their experiences. Gone are the days people spend a lot of money to have the villas, the luxury villas. And today, traveler is looking at experience. Bought a villa with a slide is a dream holiday in Maldives for a client. No one thought you'll be able to swim in 100% overwater public pool in Maldives. But in Heritage Zara, when we opened, we built 100% overwater public pool. So we are looking at enhancing the customer experience. Even now, if I take the product Heritage Zara, we are on a premier all-inclusive platform. So we give the variety for a client. They can leave their wallet back at home. They are entitled for their spa treatment. They are entitled for the all 3 meals. If anyone is taking alcohol, premium beverages are included. So what we are looking at for the luxury travelers, to give them more convenience, we are creating experiences for them to spend money. And also we are looking at going back to basic, where the luxury traveler is looking at back to basic experience, a rustic experience. So we believe the traveler has changed, their patterns have changed. So a lot of the hotels in Maldives are now using artificial intelligence to collect a lot of information to identify what are their needs and wants, because it's important we be personalized and we identify their needs and wants prior to their arrival. When they arrive there, it will help us to delight the customers.
I agree with you 100%. Now, I'm moving on. Mamoon, I'm going to stay on luxury part of it, and I'm going to ask you only 2 questions. I'm not going to ask you big thing which you mentioned last time. What do you think is going to be? You heard what luxury is changing and is now becoming an experience. But what do you think so is going to be the luxury pricing like? Will it really go up? Will it go down? What's going to happen on that? And second thing is, in your opinion, look at your crystal ball and tell me in your opinion, what is going to be the size of the new market in the next year? Will it really become big? How much will it grow? What's going to happen with that market size? Mahmood.
All right, so I guess when it comes to luxury versus experience, yeah, we've been seeing that for the past few years. Basically, yeah, travelers today are behind experience. They want more the authentic touch when they travel, more driven by social media, more Instagrammable destinations than anything else. There will be always a segment of super luxury, high level, high end sort of customers that they want to stick to what they like to do. That will always be there. But when you look about the demographics we're talking about, especially from the region here, the millennials, the new generation, yeah, they've been leading for quite some time, and they're gonna keep leading for the future. So the destinations that will be able to offer more sort of the actual local authentic experience are gonna always win. That will, coming to the second point, the pricing, I think from my point of view, that's gonna create a massive discrepancy, or between both sectors, both segments, right? So millennials, young travelers, the experience seekers are gonna always look for something unique yet affordable. More put them in the hub of things and give them the the access to different experiences they want to have. But the luxury, typical sort of luxury approach or offering is going to stand alone, is going to cater definitely to that. More and more going to be a narrow segment, and that will set the price off definitely. So if you want to have that experience, you need to pay for it moving forward. And we started seeing that even with the typical 5 stars resorts and hotels in the region across the world, they're all moving towards making it more techy, more accessible, more easy, more giving you the fantastic hospitality and customer experience that you would expect, but making it more closer to the authentic touch that you would be seeing. So they're trying to meet both criteria in the same hit. So I think that can keep on going. There will remain always sort of those villas or those kind of private beaches. This kind of stuff will be there, but I think the pricing will go up. Especially demand is going to go low, so that will be more and more towards a certain segment, and it's going to be more expensive moving forward.
But when you mentioned that demand is going to go low, so that means you're expecting next year the luxury travelers will percentage will go down, or will it really go up also? Because
again, I mean, when we look at the region here, I mean, when I talk GCC, right? GCC in general is a luxury travel sort of seekers, right? So they like to go for long trips, big group. Their average spend is high. But when you talk about luxury and the meaning of luxury that we all understand, the sort of the extreme sort of stay or hotel or property, yeah, that segment is kind of getting smaller. That segment is, with COVID this year, with all the changes, definitely gonna narrow more. But the properties are gonna be there, the offering will be there. So I think it's gonna become more and more an actual luxurious experience that you really need to pay for if you wanna have it. Again, I'm talking from from a search engine point of view.
No, fair enough. No,
my colleagues here in from the hotel industry will give us definitely a better view.
No, I understand. That's why I'm going to come to Nouri now. Nouri, I'm going to come to you now. I really need to understand. You did mention about your market in the Americans and everything, but I want to ask you, will you continue to develop the GCC as a source market for luxury travels for your hotels? Or would you look at new markets or new source markets? What's your future planning going to be?
Well, our most immediate future plan is the domestic into Europe, okay? Because in the meantime, the borders from the GCC or from Asia, from America is not open. We cannot approach this market. This is obviously, the government has a very important role with this, okay? But as soon as it's open, I can tell you where I'm enjoying this panel because we are trusting to this market, to GCC. It's a very important market for Europe, for Spain, particularly for Ibiza, Marbella. I'm original from Marbella. I tell you, it's a very strong market for us. And then we want to welcome them as soon as we can, no? And the border is open. We are still investment and making investment in marketing and sales force in the GCC. And because we think it is important to remain to the market that we are here, and then we are giving the hospitality service and experience in a safe way, okay? Because we have all our aim is that in summer 2021 or when they are coming to Europe, so to spend the holiday, this is going to be a normal situation, okay? And that's for us. It's important that in this winter time, in the meantime, the border is not open to continue investment of this, okay? Apart of this, I want to tell you something. I think it is overall around the world, the luxury traveler doesn't change the willing to spend, okay? They want to do it in another way. I think they will be willing to spend to pay more for trips that offer a greater protection. Okay, if they see in the news that Europe is going to be in a better situation, and they are going to, and then they are able to fly here, they are going to do it, because as soon as we make it's a very sensitive touring situation that we have now. I think we have to be aware that as soon as we can have the free transit for flight, we can have a very good response, okay? But at the same time, we have to be prepared to receive it. That's why there is a commitment from the hotel chains and the hospitality to prepare all the segments, to prepare all the quality and safe asset management from the staff and the protocols, also the destination, okay? That's why I think this is the most prompt future that I can tell you.
Okay, so we will wait what you're basically going to say. That I agree with you. Suresh, I'm going to come to you now. We're sticking on luxury part of it. There's also a big segment of luxury travel, which is that is usually 50 years and plus. They also are the ones who really do that. They're high spending travelers. Now the question is, will they be able to really trust the hotels again? My biggest question, because most of them feel, and my question is, what do you feel will be the difference now? How will it change?
Gone are the days, Sanjit, where we looked at the market segmentation, where generation X, Y. Today, we are looking at like-minded people. You can be 70-year-old, but you still act like a youth. Because when I look for a place, or when a client looks for a place, this is what research gives us. When somebody looks for a holiday destination, they always look at social media and see whether this place is patronized by similar like-minded people. So to answer your question, whether it can be a senior citizen or the gray population, I would say, or younger generation, anyone who looked at a holiday, I'm specifically talking about Maldives. Yes, they still trust the brand, because what destination did was, as I initially explained, the HPA, the Health Protection Authority, has given a clear manual to all the resorts where everyone is following the protocols. But the most important thing for our resorts, as well as for any other resort in Maldives, is we don't want to kill that experience of a client. We want them to feel they are walking into a resort, not to a hospital. Yes, we will wear the mask, but behind the mask, you'll still see our face. You'll not see it in our smile, but you'll see it in our eyes. So we still give that customer experience. So we have done a lot of guest experience videos for the destination from the time we opened the destination, which have gone viral in the social media. So this gives us an opportunity to give the confidence to a traveler to trust the hotel's brand or the destination. So as a destination, Maldives is one of the most safest when it comes to social distancing or physical distancing. We are island nation, one island, one resort. There are only 150 resorts out of 1,200 islands in the destination. So someone walk into a resort, you have your private space. These are all individual villas. Now, the good thing what government did was any resort in the Maldives which is in operation have to have isolation facility. So around 10% of our inventory is isolated rooms right now. So in a bad event where a guest is developing the COVID system or tested positive, the resort has the option of isolating them and cater them for their holiday needs. So, and then we can even move them to a government quarantine center. So, as a destination, as I initially said, we are very well prepared. As also by nature, we are blessed to be an island nation with 1,200 islands, one island, one resort. So that gives the confidence to the traveler to come to the destination, and you'll have a private experience at the property.
So you're really good to go for luxury travel in a big way. I understand that, but okay, I'm moving on. I've got a lot of questions from the audience, and I'm going to come to you, Mamoon. This is a question from Tina. She wants to know: will the GCC traveler confidently holiday in Europe, America, or will he like to stay closer to home? Where will the travel be now for holidays?
Well, now because of the obvious reasons, they are choosing the nearby destinations. But I think the moment Europe is going to be open, the moment they're going to go, they love the nature. They want to, GC travelers are used to go to the, European destinations, to the Maldives, to Malaysia, to the US, especially when the climate is not helping in here. This is the time where they basically, where usually they would plan these kind of trips. And I think that's going to be always on the agenda. The problem today, the challenge is, what do we need to do to be able to do that trip? Today is not possible. Soon, hopefully, it's going to be possible. And I think the moment will open up, the moment you're going to see the same flow, or not even more, going to go back to Europe. I think that the days of exaggerating about COVID, industry reactions are gone. I would say at the beginning, you remember people started drawing new shape for the aircrafts, of the seating, new hotels design. Everybody came up with the theory. Everybody thought something dramatic is going to happen and it's going to go forever. We learned that people do have short memory in general. People stick to the habits they like, but with the precautions that they need to take in measure at the moment, the mask, the gloves, the sanitizers, all this kind of stuff. But yeah, those small additional items, but then things and life is going to go back to normal. I think it's going to happen quite soon.
All right, fair enough. Point taken. Now I'm going to ask you questions quickly so you can give short answers. And Nuri, I'm going to come to you. You've got two questions. One is from Mike. Are hotels ready to go completely contactless? What revamping does it require? Are you ready for it? Would you be doing something on that line? Short answer, please.
Yes, we are ready. We are ready to host and to keep this situation in a normal basis, and more and more being improved all the protocols and procedures, and to learn about this. We are learning every day. Okay, and the most important that is about the staff is prepared for this. I think the most important thing now in this situation and this is to be trusted. Okay, and the message has to be very clear and has to be directed to the mind of the customer that traveling is going to be safe. It has to be safe. Okay, and if this is doing, I think they still to expect. And from the hoteliers in my particular position, I can tell you that we are.
No, Nuria, I'm going to come to. I'm asking the second question also because I think that's going to be part of your answer. This is from Maria. Are you looking at group travel also, and how will that cater differently? One is contactless, and then now you're going to do group travel. Will you be doing that, and how will you be different for that?
Well, good travel. What is a good travel? Okay, what is the? I think the travel agent says the one is who we are approaching the same type of travel. For us, it was very important the families and the couple, and we are going to think of this. How we are going to reach them? I insist on the same. As soon as the borders are open and they are able to travel, we are very welcome them, okay, in a safe way and healthy. That's the only situation, and I think it's the only way. I think this is a good challenge for the hospitalities and then as well for the tour operators and tour agency, because I think we are on the same page and with the same situation.
All right, fair enough. Thank you. Suresh, I'm coming to you. Your question is from Samuel. He says, how are you including health, wellness, and value-added benefits in the hotel package? Because you're going to be within your confine of this thing. And the second question is from Simon. What does the new normal mean for the hospitality workforce? How should they upskill? Very relevant question. Over to you.
Okay, two things. When it comes to hospitality workforce, the new normal, most of the resorts in the Maldives, as I initially said, using this technology, artificial intelligence, to identify customer needs and wants. Because of that, it gives the comfort zone to a hospitality worker to get to know about their guests before the arrival and to get ready to cater them. And with the evolvement of the technology and with the new normal, there can be some areas of the hospitality can get replaced with technology, but most of the areas where you are in the front line will not be able to replace with the technology, because we are in the industry of creating memories for people. We are in the industry of making the dream holidays for others. The other one about wellness aspect in the resorts, with the pandemic, with the lockdown, we all start doing things which we have never done before in our lives. When we are bored at home, we start meditating. We start practicing yoga. So yoga became one of the most searched words in the Google in most of the countries. So for this, we have now started introducing yoga in all our resorts, where guests will get morning and evening yoga sessions free of charge. Especially in Heritage Zara, we developed the Maldives kind of first Medispa, where the science meets beauty. There, we are going to have a lifestyle coach. Any clients walk into the resort will have the opportunity to speak to the lifestyle coach and change their lifestyle during their holiday. So you can speak to the lifestyle coach, tell him what difficulties you face, because today more than money, the health is wealth. Everyone wants to be healthy, everyone wants to be younger, to have live longer. So we have identified this as one of the most important things. We are looked at vegan community as well when it comes to wellness, because gone are the days vegan was a dietary requirement. Today it's becoming a lifestyle. So we are ready to cater for all wellness needs in our resorts.
Suresh, I agree with you, but I don't agree with you. When you say health is your new wealth, no, I say health is your new luxury now. That's what basically is coming down to. That's what people are looking to. Okay, Mamoon, I'm coming to you with the last question, which is from Kate. Will off-season travel become a reality from the GCC countries?
Off-season travel, I think, yeah, to an extent. We're yet to see what's going to happen moving forward, right? I mean, we need to restore many kind of the typical static kind of travel we are used to, and then we see how it's going to be the off-season. It was, see, the big trending thing was happening before COVID is what we call it leisure, right? So the business leisure travel, people going for 2-3 days trips and they extend over the weekend or have an extra few days. That was a segment that we started to look at, and I think hotels as well started to do. Many airlines on their pricing strategy try to make it more appealing for people to do it. I think if this kind of recovers that go at the same speed that it used to be, I think that's going to lead the off season moving forward. Plus the the remaining the static sort of off-season travel that's been there and is going to be there for the future. So yeah, I would say yes. How soon? I'm not sure.
We will wait. I understand that. But okay, my last question to you is, you mentioned about it a bit, but I want to really ask you this question is, you talked about the millennium travelers. I really want to understand what is the trend going to be in this, because a lot of millennials think that they can still travel. They're frustrated sitting at home. They want to do things. Is this how are they evolving in the region at the moment?
It's a young region in general, right? These people love traveling, love experiencing, love discovery in general. They're hard workers. They're smart. They make decent money. And disposable income is available for them. They have the purchase power. They wanna go and do experience more stuff. Some areas before COVID were really catering for them. So the likes of alternative accommodation, the Airbnb style, that worked fantastically well for them. I think that's gonna change a little bit now because of many reasons, especially on the health side of things. Suresh mentioned vegan earlier, and that was really an area we were seeing. Destinations were building products and restaurants and catering specifically for vegans, and yes, it had its own demand, and it was increasing. A lot of it happening from this part of the world. So yeah, I think Generation Z, millennial, anybody who's like 40 below now is the traveler for now and for tomorrow and for the near future.
Well, point taken. I think let's look at them in a big way. Nouri, I'm coming to you with the last question, and I thought this is important to be brief at the moment. What extra services will a hotel offer to reassure the traveler that he spends more time in the hotel? Because it's not just going out. If he's coming to you, so what are you going to look at? If you could say something, one or two things quickly.
I think to personalize all their stay, okay? I think if it's before they arrive, much better, because if you are ready to prepare all the program, the stay during the vacation from the side of the hotel, it's giving more the services offering and the quality and also the safety. Is gonna be better. Okay, I think this is the secret to personalize and to prepare in advance.
Okay. Point taken. Suresh, my last question to you. Well, you're getting into travel bubbles. That's what basically I'm told you're getting into now. The point is, when you get into bubbles, there could be cases where somebody as a client can walk into a COVID positive, can walk into a hotel. What measures will you take in such a case? And my important question is, who pays for it? Does the government pay for it? Does the hotel pay for it? Or the customer pays for it? That's the key part. So your thoughts.
Okay, so the first bubble we entered with India, we are starting the first flight on the 1st of September. To answer your question, if there is a client who is tested positive after arriving to the destination, I don't know about the Middle Eastern policies, but European policies, insurance policies covers the quarantine requirement. So during this 14 days quarantine period, the insurance pays for it. In India, it's still not known because it's too early to comment. We just announced it 1 week back, the tourism bubble. But as the destination, as hoteliers, what we are doing is, in the event of a client getting quarantined or isolated for 14 days or a number of days, we are working on a cost model to make sure client doesn't spend much money for this particular period, because during this time they are in the resort isolation room. It's a guest room. They'll have all the facilities inside the room. Only thing, they can't walk into a restaurant or a public space because they have to stay in that place. So we will do the room service delivery of all meals and drinks. We'll fill them in. We'll all leave outside in a table. They can collect by themselves. There won't be any room cleaning services. We will provide the materials and the equipment. So The
No, I
payment
understand.
choice will be there,
Yeah.
either the insurance. If not, the client will have to bear the cost.
Not the hotel. Okay.
Not the hotel.
Okay. Actually, it's time to close. I'm just giving you one minute to give a closing remark, and I will start with you, Mamoon. Your closing remark, 1 minute, please. I'm really short of time. Your last few words.
I'll make it very quick. Let's all stay positive. It's always good now when we talk to our colleagues at the industry and we see the positivity is back, unlike what we've been seeing for the past few months. So let's stay positive. I think we passed through that tough period, and now we're heading towards the right direction. And hopefully next year, and by end of next year, we're going to see what we've been seeing before. And thank you very much once again for having me here.
Thank you, Mamoon. I'm coming to Suresh. Suresh, to you, your last 1 minute on your closing remarks, please.
My only request to all our listeners is we have to be more responsible after the pandemic. So we have to look after our environment. At least let's start reduce the single-use plastic because as resort, we are going to be plastic-free by 2025. Maldives as a destination is going to ban the single-use plastic very soon. So only request for all of us, let's be more responsible. Let's save our environment for a better future. And we are looking forward to see any of y'all in a beautiful destination. We have the industry special rate.
Thank you so much. In fact, that's a perfect thing. Nuria, the women have the last word. So that's why I'm giving you the last word. So over to you, your last 1 minute.
Well, that's just to say that we are doing a hard work to be adapted in this situation from the side from the hotel. I think we show how we can approach this critical pandemic. That we think it's and the key challenge for the next month is to be focused in different to change the focus. To be focused on changing the customer experience, the customer perception, how to approach them with the message, to focus to achieving consumption and the parting of for the consumers. And then the most important point is about the quality and safe access management. So this is a good point for that.
Nuria, thank you so much. In fact, I want to say thank you to all of you and all my listeners. I want to mention to all of you, stay positive. That's what the message they've all given. And I think things are going to change very soon. With COVID also, we will look at other things to do and let people travel. Suresh is very clear. If you come into his island, there's no way else you can do and go. So that's what basically it is. But anyway, thank you all very much. It was a pleasure. And all my three panelists, thank you so much having you over here. And we hope to see you soon, sometimes in the near future or whenever we do meet. Sure. Thanks a lot. Sure. Khuda Hafiz. Goodbye.
Stay safe, everyone. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.